we have to delve into security challenges we are facing as a country, as a nation. You know already that Nigeria is not really doing well in terms of security. No matter how you try to paint it, no matter trying to patch it, no matter to color it, we are not there yet. And it's getting worse by the day. At first, at the beginning of the administration, it was like the military were winning the battle, winning the war. They were like, almost, I use the word almost on top of the situation. All of a sudden, a week, 2 or 3 weeks ago, you've heard about the incessant killings, kidnapping, banditry, attacks on communities, attacks on farm settlements, not peculiar to one state, not peculiar to one region. It's like every region have a fair share of this disturbance, and it's getting louder and louder as the day goes by. Is it in Benue, Plateau, in Edo, Delta? But some are saying that it's like it has reduced in the southwest because of what they have on the ground. We're going to assess all of this, what is really, really going on. And that brings to mind what we want to discuss, and I have guests with me here in the studio to throw more light on it. I have Ehinoyo Edo. Yes, Festus. I got it correctly, right? Yes. Political analyst, political commentator, a vibrant youth and entrepreneur, and of course a politician. It's good to have you join me today on site.
Good morning, Wednesday. Viewers at home, good morning.
So very close to him, he is in the academia, and he's also a scholar in the Islamic sector. I want to call him politician, be like, wait, so you don't call me politician, but what about politics is neck deep into it. Join me to welcome Alhaji Ahmed Iwaike. It's good to have you join me on set today.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wixon. Good morning. Good morning, viewers at home.
So longer news that we are where we are, and it's getting louder, and it's getting more and more disturbing. Not like saying, what is going on? Some said we're almost winning this war. We didn't hear much about it. All of a sudden, a week, 2 or 3 or a month ago, it started coming out again. This time, stronger, unabated security challenges. Let me start with Festus for a reason. You know you're a party man, Festus, and you guys are like, in charge. What is happening? If both of you are party men, let's leave that thing. What is really going on?
Wincy, the truth of the matter is, in Edo State, I guess it is necessary we give accolade, praise to our governor, because a lot of changes have come in from the security aspect. We were in a state before he came where we have court killings all over the places, and we've not recorded a single death in court-related fights for the past 5 months. And every day the man is coming up with policies to make sure that lives are being valued in our society. Just yesterday or the first day, he gave another, a bill was passed whereby if a kidnapper is caught, he will die by hanging. Again, these things are setting precedents, positivity. These precedents are very positive to our society. That notwithstanding, there are some new things that we are seeing. Like those they will cut and they'll tell you they are hunters. What baffles me is this, Wincy. I've been in this society for more than 40 years. I've been in Edo State for more than 40 years. I was born here. I've been growing all through. I believe we used to have elders in our society. We have elders that will come up and make the governor of the day that these are things we are seeing that we don't like. People are coming into your territory and they are telling you they are hunters, and you know they are not hunters. I have never seen an elder statesman in Benin or the council of elders in Benin coming up to say, we don't need this. If we are having problem today in this state, I will tell you vividly,
guys that are coming from the north calling themselves hunters are the number 2 problems. I'll tell you those that are the number 1. The number 1 problem are those within our society, our community, that give them that roof. I guess before now, I said it on here, that a friend of mine, Investor Benin, did the research to actually find out the causes of problems between the herders and farmers. The guy said, at the end of it, he found out that community leaders, some enige, some of their way, they have cattle, they rear. Some, we call the Fulani herdsmen, okay, you are going to give me 10 million. Go and be rearing your cow here. You've sold your birthright to those people. So when they enter, they do whatever they like. So those are the number 1 problem. So if the Benin elders think they want this state to be at peace, it is necessary for them to sit, give instructions to all communities. You cannot come and tell me you are hunting. You leave Kano, Kaduna to Benin. What are you hunting for? So you see these 2 set of persons I've listed at, they are the problem we are having. And the only people that can speak to the government presently that the government will listen very well are those that are supposed to be the elders. But I don't know if we don't have elders again. Meanwhile, the governor on his own, I know a lot of persons said something that is playing politics with what happened in Oromi, trying to compensate lives, the family of those that were killed. And I've asked a lot of persons some questions. If you are a leader, you are not a leader for a set of persons. You cannot expect a governor to support jungle justice because it happened in his land. Or those that were killed are not his people. If you are opportune to arrest or cut a thief in your house, you know what it is if you go and meet the police and say, I catch thief, I don't kill him. There is no evidence. Not until all evidence are clear, any person is regarded as a suspect. So that's why you see the government trying to play the parts of justice. So even if we are saying they are hunters, whatever happened there, they ought not to happen. Now, let our community people sit down and ask themselves questions. Who are those asking them? How will I give a Fulani man that is a hunter?
Hold on, if you are calling a particular tribe, I think we should be careful about
the problem we have now.
Don't forget that we have 2 brands right now. The innocent one doing their job in peace, and the deadly ones attacking.
The truth is this. The truth is this. The number 1 problem we have now, if we are to arrange them in their degrees, are those who are that telling you are coming for hunting. You'll be seeing it on social media. We shouldn't pen this whole thing. We have seen it in different social media where they were being caught in Amagba. You saw what they did, going to people's homes, that's on community building, to remove rods. The recent one that was posted yesterday where they removed the complete roof of a house. These are not Yoruba boys. They are not Igbos. They are not even Beninese. What we see is what I'm saying. I am not telling you they are the major perpetrators of this crime. No. But in the degree, they are the number 1 problem we are having. And that's why I'm calling on the elders of the state. They should walk down to the governor and tell the governor, we don't need hunters in our land again.
All right. I will come back to you first, Ahmed, you've heard him. He talked about a particular tribe, but I know a friend of mine told me a story, first-hand story. And just as well, it's not all of these persons are guilty of what they're being accused of. He said he was there walking his family inside the bush, inside the forest, just walking, He saw a Fulani guy with his cows grazing. He could see this one preventing his cows from entering his farm. Just kind of a clicking sound in their mouth, you move away. Then another Fulani guy with his head started approaching. as this one saw that one, immediately started running. And they become the guy to please leave the bush, run. This is a Fulani running from another Fulani. So that there are different types. So the question is, where are these sets from? So it is not all of the, as in a first-hand story. He was like, oh God, run. This was the Fulani guy with his own cow doing his own thing. When he saw the other one approaching, he started running with his cow and he told the guy to run. So it is not all of them. So these other deadly sets, where are they from?
Thank you, Mr. Wixon. I cannot vividly say or pinpoint where they are coming from. Like as my brother was always hammering on the name Fulani. At least I am from the Muslim community.
Yes.
I also have friends who are into this cattle rearing. It is not all of them that are Fulani that are rearing this cattle. We have some of them from the Borno axis. Most of them that are into this cattle trading here, most of them are the Shua Arabs. Some of them are the Shua Arabs. And then we also have some that are the Hausa. I also have one that is close to my house, who is my own close person. He's a Yoruba guy having a cattle herds. And most of the people that are helping him to graze with these cattle, they are from the Borno/Adamawa axis. While some are Fulani, some are the Shua Arabs, and other tribes are there too within. But it's just because we now have a general name for them, because the majority of them who are into this cattle rearing are Fulanis, and that is why we now kind of generalize them to say Fulani S-men. And inside the same Fulani S-men, like the example you just gave now, that there are some good ones and there are some bad ones, and it's very clear. There are some that are into cattle rustling. I forgot the right word to use. They will go and steal cows.
So rustling.
Rustling, yes. They will go and steal cows from where cows are kept, and also kind of steal them, take them away from there to another place, either to go and sell to or to. So there are some that are doing that job. He that saw that one and said, "Run," he probably know that this guy is part of those doing cattle rustling. Probably those cattle he's moving with, they might not even be his own. It may be the one he has gone to rustle from somewhere and is transporting it to another place. It's just the same way you have the good eggs and the bad eggs. You understand? Within the society. So within them, there are the good ones and there are the bad ones. And it's just that it's not written on the face, and you cannot actually tell who are the good ones, who are the bad ones. So now this kind of this situation is so dicey. Like in my community, when the headers actually perpetrated evil in my community, Nugoni Ekorion, where they killed some of our people. And some of the youths came up and said, Ahmed, you are a Muslim. Okay, I said, okay, no problem. We're going to meet some of the leaders within the. When we met them, I don't want to mention the name of the Arewa leader that we met. He told me clearly and said, go back to your community, go and meet your Enoge. That he has had a meeting with the governor, with the Eniges, and he told the governor that these Eniges you are seeing, they are the problems. And one of the problems, he told us clearly that you go back to your Enoge and ask and make some findings. You know, couldn't go back to that man to tell him, oh, this is what we found. Because there is no way these headers will enter your community and start grazing without meeting the head in that community. They are principled to some extent to that aspect. They come, they are businessmen. They ride their cow. Their cattle need to feed so that the cow can grow big and they will sell. They are just purely businessmen. That's their occupation. They come to your community. They know that this community have leaders. Because where they are coming from, they have emirs. So they respect authorities. So they come to you. The emirs here are the Enoges, the dukes. They meet the duke, oh, we want to make good use of some portion of your land for grazing our cow. And there are negotiations. And there are money paid. And for a duration of time. And these people will pay. And now you are not telling them you should leave your land, where, for example, they've signed 7-year agreement, and now they've only spent 4 years, and you are telling them to leave your land. How? Okay, if I'm to leave your land, okay, I have paid up to like 7 million, for example. Can you gladly return my 7 million? Which of the dukes will return that kind of money again? When Duke don't collect money, go buy Jeep or go flex or even go abroad for vacation. Now one return 7 million, for example. Duke cannot get that to return. So they remain the community. Then that is one part of it. The second part of it that, okay, these people, when they started to say, when you are giving a yard, some people will take miles on that issue. They were giving yards, okay, graze within this area. But you know, I'm not saying Nigerian, humans naturally will take yards. They will just overcross the boundary and now start grazing on people's farmland. Whereby now, whatever the Duke does now becomes a blame. The Duke on his own, his initial intention that I have a reserve where most of my people don't go to farm. Okay, you go there, graze. The Duke have not committed a crime in doing that. But unfortunately, the people he gave the lands to go and graze have trespassed. Probably they finish the good ones there to graze. Look at fresh grass, look at fresh cassava, look at fresh corn. Abeg kukuma come and graze here so that the cows will get bigger. You understand this issue? So now, I supported what my brother Festus just said, honestly speaking. Let's start from there, because even when the Obas are appointing dukes, the essence of appointing duke is to serve as, like the local government, or let me say the head in that place. Oba cannot be everywhere. Okay, duke, you be there. Oversee this community for me and report back to me. So now your job as a duke is to also serve as like the war general to protect the lives and properties of the people within your jurisdiction. So now, before you now start accepting strangers into your community, you need to do your own fact findings, do your own profiling, to know if these things will profit your people or will have adverse effect on your people. So that is why you see that I support him, honestly speaking, that the elders, not just only the dukes, there are some elders that needed to say, no, we don't want this kind of people influxed into our community. Those days, when you enter a community, you know you are a stranger. In fact, you are profiled immediately. And if you are to be expelled, you are expelled immediately. But now everybody comes into a community, do whatever they want to do, or in the name of that we are free or we are one Nigeria, as the case may be. Nobody is saying we are not one Nigeria, but at the end of the day, but once you are coming in, let's know why you are coming in, let's know what you want to do. If it is hunting you want to come out, we have our own hunters as well. If it is this animal grazing you want to graze, we have our own animals that we can graze. And let me tell you, most of these cattle you are seeing does not even belong to most of the Fulanis or Hausas or Arewas, as the case may be. Some belongs to our own people.
We'll come back to that, but not after we go on a break. I want to start off with Edo State, then we'll go national. The question now is, these fights, disturbance, kidnappings, killings, are they politically motivated or just laxity in the security architecture? But they are coming from another angle, leadership of some of these communities. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go away. If you just join us, this is TMI Sunday's edition, Easter's edition. We'll take a look at security situation in recent times, politically motivated or laxity in our security architecture. I want to start off from Edo State, which we've been doing already, before I move to the national level. The opinion is that the leadership in various communities, their needs, their joys, their no-gains, you just name it. From what they said, they are not free of this. They gave instances of one collecting money. Do X, Y, Z, go graze, and when trouble starts, they cannot talk, they'll be looking, even when their community has been ravaged because they choose to dip their hands into something that is not so cool. I see how Festus and of course Ahmed with me in the studio, they are speaking their mind in this particular issue. Now, you said you can't tell that hunters from the north will leave all their region to come to the south vis-a-vis Urumi to come hunt. That something is truly not right. Something is definitely amiss. But 2 or 3 days ago, the governor went out and had a meeting with everyone in that constituency saying, look, if we hear about kidnapping, death penalty by hanging, do you think this will solve anything? Remember, he talked about demolition of houses. Of course, he made do of his threat. They got one guy or 2 or 3 or thereabout, their houses demolished because they found them wanting in this particular regards. But death by hanging, the public glare. What do you feel about this?
It's the right move, honestly. You know, when something becomes too much, it becomes a problem. And if you check, like those kidnappers, they were not just walking alone. They were not walking, as it was not just the Edolite alone. The Edolites were being used with people from outside, because I don't want to be mentioning names. Meanwhile, let me clarify something. When I was talking about the hunters, I was not talking about the Fulani in general, because not all Fulanis are actually bad. Recently, I could remember A friend of mine that was stuck in a train posted and was like, they met some Fulani and they were very receptive. So not all are bad. So what we are calling the name is like when you see some Benin boys there before the coming of Obelo, you say, I don't boys not be cultist. We not be complaining, we will not be cultist. Because we are brothers that are cultists. You understand? Now, for the kidnappers that he said hanging, and there was an adjustment to the former law that their home will be converted to government property. I guess it's a welcome development. But more needs to be, as a more assessment is needed. Let me come in from the angle of the local government view. I want contested to be the chairman of the local government. And while I was doing that, I walked through the whole of Igor. The length and breadth of Igor, I walked through them. That I could tell you, okay, this one day here that time, or this one is there, this one is there. I was doing that so that when I become the local government chairman, I will be in my area and say, where are you? I heard something like this happening in the area. Go and tackle this place. We're having local government chairmen that some of them are just there. We don't know what they are doing. You are in charge of your local government. You should be able to report to the governor. These are the hotspots in my areas. What is the use of a councillor? As a councillor, you are not supposed just to come and say, come grade road. You ought not be to the grade road. When there are flash areas, hotspots in your areas, in your domain, your ward, you should meet with your chairman, then meet with the governor. I have not seen a councillor reporting a DPO. Are you aware we have some dubious DPO in our terrain? We have some dubious DPO in our terrain, even police officers. Those are supposed to be their work. Now, if we want security in our community, when we are talking about the elders, the eniges, the dukes, and every other person, you see these people who are elected, they have rules to play. Every person are just after the money. But what are they doing? You know, I say we grade road. I give kudos to Obosa, the acting chairman from Bobara. He gave some Sierra Hardy, I guess this week. I want more secure Bobara for me. He called, he looked at me and said, okay, take. I am looking forward to see every other local government chairman coming in force. There should be security meeting within local government areas. You are not just there to start looking for money. If as a councillor in my ward, I will tell you I'm from Ward 5 ago. When we had issues of courtesy, I guess we were able to come up with one or two and say, okay, let's do this, let's do this. The vigilante, we bought guns for them. Mona carry all this barrier, Mona they effective. There's some of us who come out at night to make sure that that area is being secure. So, government is not all about Okbeolo at the state level. You as a chairman should be able to come out and say, in my own local government area, area B, area C, area M, area Q are flashpoints. And we have told the commissioner of police, we have had meeting with the governors. If we want this local government to be safe, this area must be looked into. Wincy, during the time of Obaseki, there was a local government in Edo State, from Edo North. I don't want to mention the local government. My friend was a teacher there. He told me categorically that he get those who will take the commands from that community. This was in Edo State, not North. He said, bros, now not they understand. You get those who will take the commands. Before you go come out, you go check security details. If not, they will let the block road. Meanwhile, they have councillor and local government chairman during that time. So when we are talking about securing our environment, how do you secure your environment? I am the audience of this area. I am supposed to, within time, have meetings with my councillors. When was the last time a councillor come up and say, okay, all the audience in this area, all the Okaidu, let's sit down, let's have meeting, let's discuss what is the way forward. When was the last time? No.
All right.
So if we are talking about securing our environment, we see the whole architect we had before, we are going to break some down and let these elected officers understand their duty.
Okay.
We see, before you build anchor,
Yes.
before you come in, we have House of Rep members, senators. Only Oshomole is speaking. So as long as we are humans, we are going to have the good, the bad one.
And the ugly. Okay, fine. Now I'll come back to you first. Now he has now. Well, you guys talked about the communities first, and I'm moving up to the local government bosses. That some of them, or most of them, are not doing anything reasonably, anything to really checkmate this trend. So, what do you feel about his own comment? Is he right?
He has spoken what they call truth because you see, this is hierarchy. The president at that level cannot actually tell what is happening right now in Igosa. That's the truth. The governor, as I speak now, cannot actually tell what is happening in Igosa as we speak. That is why the hierarchy is from there. The presidency, the governor, the HJ chairman, down to the councillors. And that's why they say the government at the grassroots is the local government. Now, as he just made mention of my local government chairman, acting local government chairman Bosa, I saw those Sienna actually there. But I never knew what, because they just passed through me. Beautiful Siennas. I was proud. I said, yes, this is for security. I never even knew he did it. If not that, you just spoke about it, and I reflected and said, yes. What I'm trying to say is that if everybody is actually doing the right thing, the security is easy. To be candid with you, that's why you say, is it politically motivated? Yes, the answer is politically motivated. This security architecture is balanced. The problem is, you know, the political motivation. Honestly speaking, if the local government chairman really hits up the DPOs under his jurisdiction, honestly speaking, crime will be reduced. If the councillor is actually at the neck of the DPO that is within his ward, crime will reduce. Let me tell you, the criminals in the society, they know them. They know them. If you want to know that the policemen are very active, let the politicians give them that command to fish out those 1 or 2 crimes. It will come out. What was his name? Abakari, that former police officer that was a super cop. Yeah. Yeah. When they decided to apprehend him, they did not apprehend him. When they decided that this is time for Anini, was Anini not apprehended? This is to tell you that there is no criminal as far as anywhere in Nigeria is concerned that if they want to checkmate, they can't checkmate. Actually, the political motivation is the issue. The CP, after resuming, is being briefed of the red areas with the red flags. They know. But the political motivation will say, have you been given the order? The CP cannot actually do otherwise when there is no order. If you overdo, before you know it, the CP is removed. If the DPO also overdo, before you know, a DPO who is a DPO, a boss of a division, cannot become a 2IC in another place sharply. And there are some communities that does not even have lights up till now. Okay, when you go there, go and relax since you don't know what to do. Because you are not following instruction. So I quite agree that it's politically motivated to be candid with you. So that is why you see, so Bewolo came in. Bewolo has been trying to see all those lasses, how he's being caught, all those, he's trying to cut them out. And if you check all these stands that Bewolo is taking, honestly speaking, within a very short period of time, this crime will reduce. It cannot be eradicated 100% to be candid with you. No. Because even in United States, as sophisticated it is, there is still crime. But it will be reduced to the barest minimum. Because that time you will know that, but superpower not they get to support also. The era of when you arrest somebody, and at the end of the day, when statements are being written, even you that brought the person, the statement cannot be turned against you. Will you be motivated again? The answer is no. But if the political will is not there, and the people are arrested, and it's followed up, and you see that that person that was arrested is actually dealt with, you'll be motivated to follow up to fish out all those crimes. And those who are involved will now know that, oh boy, yes, no guy is safe haven for us again. No? So the next thing for them is to move. So I agree with you 100% that it's politically motivated. So to solve this is a political will. And once the governor decides to clean his state will be clean because the chief security officer of the state, he knows what to do to tell the CP what to do. And if the CP is not complying, he will raise an alarm that the CP is not obeying me, he's obeying somebody else. So before you know it, that CP cannot stand more than 48 hours in that state again. And that CP will come that will obey the governor. Okay, in the Southwest, can you tell us issues of Fulani herdsmen against the ravaging Southwest? The governors came up and said, yes, we are let us secure our own territory. And since then, they've secured their territory. In fact, people can farm in the West. People can farm in the West. But as I speak with you right now, even in Orion or my local government, people cannot farm any longer. I was in the vehicle yesterday coming back from the village. A lady was saying, we are saying that there is hunger. The hunger that will come next year will be worse. So, because people cannot farm. So where will you expect the food from? Where will you expect the food from? So as I speak with you, my brother, it's a political issue. As the governor is moving, and the governor should just continue in this stride. And I beg the governor not to be distracted by any means, so that at the end of the day, he will be able to make laws to ensure that these crimes are eliminated. Our vigilantes are capable. Just empower them. And not when after they've caught a criminal today, you are blaming them. You don't know, say that criminal, they know they catch that one based on say, you know, what will you not expect the guy to do? Or when the criminal, when the vigilante have risked his life to apprehend the criminal, you have even shown the criminal on television. The next day you are seeing the criminal even in Ted Junction. Are you happy? Will you still be secured? So these are just the challenges that are there. So it's politically motivated. To eradicate all these people is too simple. It's just too simple. Like the money my governor want to use to compensate our brothers that were killed in Oromi. Only divide by 3. One part of it is sufficient to eradicate all these menace away from our forests. Honestly speaking, just drop 1 billion naira and say, okay, the forest in Novia, let's clean it up. Bros, all those people are nearest me. Now one gun they carry, now one gun you say carry entire side, and those people will be flushed out. Or let me know use the word Fulani herdsmen. Whoever kidnappers, whoever crime, whoever is involved in that crime, just drop 1 billion naira. The whole of Ovia forest will be flushed. Or the whole of forest in Orion will be flushed. There are people who are willing to do this thing, but they just want that order to be given. We still have good police officers, whether you like it or you leave it. We still have good civil defense officers, whether you like it or you leave it. We still have good DSS officers, whether you like it or you leave it. And we still have good vigilantes, whether you like it or you leave it. All they just want is that order. Once you give them that order, this crime will be flushed. So if as long as we still have crime, politicians will be asked questions. That's my summary.
All right, thank you so much. We want to go for another break. When we return, we'll definitely continue with this discussion, beginning to move up gradually. We went through the hinterland, talking about the Enogies, the Dukes, the Ojoys, and now I'm over to, you know, the councillors, the local government chairman. We're going to go to the governor, of course, to the federal level. The question still remains, is this politically motivated or laxity in our security architecture? We'll be right back. So much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're taking a look at security challenges in recent times. The questions remain, are they politically motivated or laxity in our security architecture? My guess we're able to start off from the grassroots of the grassroots. Yes, as in talking about each unit, each ward in the local government, talking about traditional institutions being built to take care of this. So then moving up to the councillors, now to the chairman. Before we went on the break, you heard about some of them being politically motivated because if they have a governor or a president, whether that has political will, he can do wonders. When you talk about the challenges bedeviling our security framework. I still have Festus Eki and of course Ahmed Ewaike. Let me go over to you, Festus. We've talked about that of Edo State. You guys give kudos to the governor saying that the Niges, the Noges, the Joe, the Okaigele should do more. You're talking about the councillors, the chairman, they should do more. After all, security is the work of everyone. All right, the work of everyone. But now let's come national. You get to hear about the killings in Plateau State, in Benue State. You understand? Even some other parts of the country. That's the reason the Southwest. But it's like other parts of the country is boiling. It's like getting louder and louder in this particular time. Can one deduce that it might not be unconnected to 2027?
Wednesday, Nigerians are not used to telling the truth. Not all, but some. Now, Plateau and Benue, they're in middle belt. The problem is this. When the hunters, I don't want to give their names, when the hunters move from the north, the first spot they land is the middle belt. That's why we're having this problem there. When they move from the middle north, the first place they will land is the middle belt. I guess the governor, the former governor, this week, I guess I read something about him saying, we know those that are doing these things. For you as a statesman to say, we know those that are doing this thing, and you have not been able to fish them out, who is lying? The problem in the middle belt is this. There is a war. It's a cold war between the Hausa and the Fulani. I've seen videos that were removed from TikTok about Jaik. There's a guy they call Jaik with dread. That when he stops people, he is used to kidnapping people from buses. We identify the Fulani and separate them and kill the Hausa immediately. I have seen videos of that. I am not a security expert, but I've done my research on the problem in Middle Belt. There is a cold war between the Hausa and the Fulani. That when the hunters come from the north, their first point of entrance is the Middle Belt. They lay their head. Within 2, 3, 4, 5 years, what they do is this. They do their minor stealing, little kidnapping. After kidnapping for ransom, they don't have money to buy good arms. Then they now enter community and begins to capture the community. Any community they are unable to capture, they invade it. That's why you see they just run it, keep people and leave it. Now, let the chief of staffs in all the armed forces and the police, the DSS, sit down and ask themselves questions. Plateau and Benue have been in this mess for more than 20 years.
Okay, but right now.
Okay. I don't want to include this side. I don't want to concentrate on these two states.
Okay.
They've been on this for more than 20 years. Anini was in Benin. Anini did not reign up to 4 years, 5 years. Anini was tackled. Evans was in Lagos. Evans started in Benin. When they started flashing Mari, he ran down to Lagos. Evans was apprehended. Why is it that when it comes to the Middle Belt and the North, there is no solution? The politicians are involved. I am in charge. Ahmed will want to do everything possible to discredit me that this man is not trying. And the war, the Cold War, nobody will say it. And I will say I'm changing this opinion. There has been a Cold War between the Hausa and the Fulani. It's a supremacy war.
Supremacy war?
Yes.
And the politicians, they are aware of it.
They are even the one increasing the volume every day. They are in charge.
All right.
How do they clear it when they are with arms?
I'll come back to you. Well, we're talking national right now. He said it's a cold war between the Hausas and the Fulani supremacy war, and the politicians do have one or two things to really either boost or increase the intensity of this war or reduce the embarrassment according to Festus. Do you agree with these own allusions?
Honestly speaking, how can a man or a gang of criminals that does not have political backing will be able to transport arms from one location to another location? Like I said earlier, our police architecture, they are one of the smartest as far even Africa is concerned. Don't look at our policemen like that. They are very, very well trained. Like I said, the problem they are having is they have bosses on top of them and who take orders from another boss. Our IG is not supposed to be retired, but has the IG not be extended because he has a boss that have extended his years. And they say he who paid the piper dictates the tune. So now, how are they able to transport those their weaponry via the road from one point to another? Whether you like it or not, you cannot take it away from our power muggler as if those who love powers. In fact, they want to grab power by enemies. Sometimes we still continue to ask ourselves, do these people still have conscience? Like in my religious faith, we believe that once you kill somebody innocently, I don't know how you're going to beg God for forgiveness. Meaning, are you just going to throw this word and forget about the hereafter? You understand what I'm saying now? But some of these people who love powers just believe that, hey, don't worry, make I just enjoy this earth. Anything about the other side, the hereafter, I'm not interested. So they keep on perpetrating anything possible just to ensure that, oh, they get what they want by enemies. It makes mention of the middle belt. If we decide to share Nigeria today, there is no way the middle belt will agree to join the Northerners. There is no over their dead body that they will agree to say, okay, add us to the North. They will never accept. That is why dividing this country is still becoming a difficult task, because how many parts are you going to separate it? Because that is where you say the middle belt. That was why they came out with the name middle belt. Because now you have the North, you have the South. But they quickly disassociated from themselves from the North, say, like, oh, I beg, North can't us join North, we will not be North, we are middle belt. Because they know that once they just join the North, total slavery. There's no way, no two ways about it. No two ways about it. Because the tribes within those middle belt are like minority compared to Fulani and Hausa, who are the major tribes. But there are other many tribes within the North. Marigi, Barbu, so many. Jukums and the rest. There are so many. But it's not that the Hausa become more popular, followed up by the Fulani, as the case may be. But there are other minor tribes that are within. But you see that middle belt, the Benue and Plateau, to be specific, they will not in any way want to join the North, because they know that once they join the North, in fact, that is a complete slavery.
Hold on. Before you answer my question, I want to go for it. But when we return, you continue with your line of thoughts. Okay, if you just joined us, this is TMI. We're taking a look at this salient topic. Security challenges in return time. Is it politically motivated or laxity in our security architecture? We'll be right back. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. Sunday's edition, Easter's edition. We're taking a look at security challenges in recent times, if it's politically motivated or laxity in our security architecture. Some are saying that politics is not beginning to destroy our security architecture. Others are saying we don't even have a security architecture. It's all politicized. And for what is happening right now, they can't but deduce that we have a lot of politics that is really taking the space of security of lives and properties. My guests see very much in the studio talking about supremacy between two tribes. Ahmed, you were making the point we have to go on a break. Can you please continue with your line of thoughts?
Yeah, thank you. So, like as I was saying, the issue is the forces are ready. The Nigerian forces are ready. Armed forces, pardon me, they are ready. But despite the fact that some of them are also not being properly taken care of, but they are still willing to do the job. We have seen videos of recent where the Nigerian army, even they themselves are complaining. Those are the feed. Even complain about, their ill treatments, as the case may be. Even one that was just surfaced yesterday, where they are staying. In fact, they are not being even properly taken care of. While some are being ambushed, whatever, thinking that within themselves they have been sabotaged, getting to ambush. But even as a that, they are still out there trying to clean the mess that are being perpetrated by these our politicians. Like as I was earlier saying, that the problem is still the political will. Because once orders are given, you cannot defy the order. And once you start defiling the order, like as you said, breeze can be blamed, you will not know where the breeze is coming from. Any of the super cop who trying to be too super, trying to clear the mess, and orders have not been given, may end up being roped up in that same crime. And at the end of the day, be finding himself thinking of how to remove the chain away from the no longer fighting crime again. So better still, some of them just decide to follow suit and say, okay, Oga never give order, Oga never give order. Because once Oga have actually given order, honestly speaking, there's no criminal within Nigeria that is tougher than the Nigerian armed forces. None of them. But the political will is the issue. Check areas where we have problems. Outside this middle belt we are talking about, is it Zamfara? We have no, do you know how many generals are from there? Is it Mina? Niger State? Do you know how many generals are from there? Notably 2 ex-presidents, 2 head of state? Or is it the Borno Aziz you are talking about? My brother, they themselves know what the problem is. But because of what, they also stand to benefit again. And at the end of the day, they try to allow it to be that way. And the governors that are there sometimes see that, oh boy, these people are bigger than me. There are situations where governors have been able to, okay, God bless you. River City is a case of a case. The governor is trying to do things on his own will. What is the result now? It's being suspended. So in those states where you see these issues are happening, the governor himself is trying to see, let me see how to push. But the political will is there, not to pass your boundary. But if he now overpasses his boundary, you either think of sacrificing your seat, or you allow things to go status quo. Like the governor of Plateau that I visited that place. This is ethnic cleansing. You know. But what have you done to end the ethnic cleansing? He cannot do. Because if he do more than that, he will not complete that his 4-year term. He will not know where the breeze is coming from, but he's feeling breeze, but he don't know where it's coming from. If he dares, he knows that it's ethnic cleansing. He knows. He has said it openly with him by himself. But he cannot stop it. Like as my brother Festus apparently said, they know where the crime is coming from. But they cannot go further because there's a political will on top. And once you try to look here, let me forgo that political will, I'm the governor, chief security officer, let me clean this menace. He will not know where the stone is coming from. He will not know. Stone will start falling. He will not know where the stone is falling from. And then the siege becomes a problem. So for him to complete his 4-year term, and also looking for another 4-year term, he has to follow soon and say, don't worry, government is on top of the matter, we'll look into it, they settle them with this 2 million, settle them with this 3 million, as the case may be. But the killings continues. But if there are governors who is going to well, I don't care sacrificing my seats, honestly speaking, those criminals will leave that state within even 48 hours. They will not be able to stay. There are covert operations that will take place, and all these people will be cleared. And once they are cleared, the state will be. But he knows that after doing that, the consequences that is going to befall him may be too much. So the problem we have in this security issue is politically motivated. Until there is a political will, there is no way we can solve this political. Because we will continue just to be lamenting like that. In these countries that these young boys control in Burkina Faso, are you still hearing issues of insecurity? No. Because the political will at the top have decided to say, I want to claim my state. I want to claim my country. I want my country to move forward. Is this not happening in Burkina Faso? Burkina Faso have not got to borrow money. But you know Nigeria is still borrowing money. And when we have enough money, just because we needed to satisfy another bigger political power. But we still borrow money. It may not be like saying we will not follow suit. IMF, okay, how you say we will do another? Bring the loan. And we get money. I spoke with one of my big boss yesterday who retired from an NPC. You know that our oil has been mortgaged to pay debts? Do you know? But yet we still pay debts. And we still continue to borrow more. And the money is still there. It's just like you get 10,000. You go to borrow another 15,000. When you never even finish your 15,000 when you get for a side pocket. So like that. So I'm trying to say, the head, once they are ready to clean Nigeria, obviously they will clean it. Burkina Faso, a case study.
Case study. Now, you want to make an example of the North having a larger chunk in the military. The feeder quota, every time they call for, they have generals, both serving and retired. Why is it so difficult for them to have a clean slate in terms of fighting security, Festus?
The North are liars.
The liars how?
The governors. I want to give you a case study. I am partly not too in support of what he said, like if they decide to move for. You saw what happened in Anambra State now, where we have Solondo. Solondo found out that money rituals for money was becoming a thing. When the celebrity native doctor was arrested, immediately after that he brought a law. And he said, if you are a native doctor and you appear in public to one chan, we will arrest you. A video circulated where a woman was arrested. I never knew something like that was happening. It was not a comedy. It wasn't a skit. What I've got to say is this. If you are leading and you've seen a menace, a problem, at times it may be just a challenge. You are in charge. You as a leader have to face that challenge and bring out a solution. Permit me to use this. We're having a governor, most of the governors in Middle Belt are just, I don't know how to call it, but I don't want to be so emphatic in the word I'm going to use, but most of them are playing. We're talking about lives.
They are playing in what ways?
When it comes to
With the lives of the
security,
people.
when it comes to securing their environment, I just use Soludo as a case study. The man after that went further. He found out that display of wealth is another problem in the state. And he said, when you are going to do a burial, a funeral in my state now, no poster, no public engagement of corpse. There are laws already. You know what these laws are going to do? They are going to reduce crime. Now, we are having governors from Middle Belt who are supposed to come together as a force. The Southwest spoke with one voice. Amotekun, this is what we want. The crime rate reduced drastically from 100 to 40, now to about 30. Now you're having governors from the Middle Belt who are supposed to come out and say, this is our land, let's protect it. This is what we want. Let's have our security architect that will protect our people. You see those villagers from the Borno and Plateau, they are just a kind of, they are this class of people, Benue, that have lost touch with what they need to do. If government can't secure you, you wake up and secure yourself. It will happen in 2021. 22, another one will happen. 23, it will happen. 24, 25 is happening and they are sleeping. I don't expect that state to remain a peaceful state by now. There should be protests everywhere. If they refuse to do the needful, if they refuse to even, I don't want to say this, but what I think is, if they refuse to put the right person there that is ready to take the bull by the horn, I don't need a second tenor to secure my people. If I know where the people are coming from that are coming to attack my people, and I am the security officer, the number one citizen of my people, I should fight for them. I should empower them. Wincy, there are some covert operations that the governor should carry out in the state.
Covert operation.
Covert operation.
Nobody should hear about it. See, just go.
I'm saying this because when I see the killings in Plateau State, I'll just tell myself, are we still in a normal society where lives are no longer valuable? They shouldn't make the mistake of telling us it's a jihadist war or is a Muslim fighting.
This is beyond that.
He's a Muslim. He just said it. And I have scholars that I have mixed with that are Muslims that will tell you, Islam must say make we kill.
Exactly.
Like I told you, it's a supremacy war. And do you know where the Northern has lost it? The light, which is education, many refuse to embrace it. When you are educated to an extent, indoctrination becomes a problem. We have people in the North that have been indoctrinated. They will teach them what they want them to know. Let me shock you, Wincy. In the core north in Nigeria today, where indoctrination is still the order of the day, there are restrictions to what they can browse with their phone. I don't know if you are getting it. Just like when you buy a tab for your child, because you don't want the child to start going to watch porn or doing some other thing, you now put
block the website.
Restriction. That's what they happen. There was a video I watched where a man was flogging a girl child, because the girl removed the veil from his head. I don't know if you've seen that video. The stick is as big as my hand. The man used 3 of that stick. Where you have the child right law, child protection law.
Our time is almost up. The Director of DSS said, look, it's high time you guys protected yourself. Is that where we are diving towards right now? Briefly, as a nation, our time is up. Is that the right thing to do? But some are saying, you shouldn't have said that. I'm saying it like, because some are saying in the Southwest, that's what they are doing, but they are covert about it. You empower their motor to take care of this region, and they are doing it.
If a head of a security architecture could tell you that,
not just a head of a security,
DSS,
the secret
service could tell you that, you should know that he's overwhelmed, as in man use the local, he don tire. Say, we no fit do this thing again based on political will, because if he lecture do against the political will, it's just a single statement, you are sacked. And there is no court you take the president or whatever power to, why will you be sacked? You understand? So this is about fed up. So instead, resort to defending yourself. Covert operations should just be the order of the day, as it is right now. Because you have to defend yourself, because the way things are going on, you don't know who to trust. Can you go and report to a police officer that there is a criminal there? The same time you see the police and the criminal, they are wearing a tiny. Is your life no longer at stake? What will you do? So to me, let every region protect themselves in a small nucleus, so that from there we will now see how we extend it to a bigger chain. But at a smaller nucleus, from that your streets, the vigilante should be paid by the landlords. Then from the streets to the quarters, from the quarters to the ward, from the ward to the LGA, then from the LGA to the state. By the time Okpewolo, the way it's going now, decide to cement security within those states. Even some police officers will be posted to, they will say, I'm not they go again, post me to another state, because it will no longer be business as usual.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. You can see our time is up. You've spoken at length. Starting from the Enoges, the Eniges, your Joy, that's what we start from the interior of the communities, traditional institutions, then to the councillors, local government, chairmen, the governors. We don't know what Mr. President, but it's like he has pushed everything to the governors, take care of your state, your security votes, go and work with it. President said, look, we don't have a hand in this. It's governor, take care of your state. That is a new order. Security vote being given to you. What are you doing with it? Maybe next time we'll talk about the presidency because of time. Well, happy Easter to each and every one of you. Please celebrate moderately. Don't go break the bar because of Easter celebration. We'll do it again next time. Bye for now.